We at Cherwell Music, feeling that Oxford is, after all, a place full of talented and interesting individuals, thought we'd head down to Cornmarket to check out some of the local busking talent on show.
So that was Oxford Tom, lovely guy, good at guitar, and unfortunately he doesn't know how to play Wonderwall though, wouldn't do requests, it's a bit of a shame.
I can't concentrate. Okay.
Well, apparently we were distracting him a bit too much with our camera work. God, what these musician divas like.
So that was a woodwind quintet called the Pixies and the Sloths, by far the most successful of the buskers we've seen today. The people of Oxford dug deep, you could see plenty of coins in their upturned instrument cases.
That's right, but all in all it's been something of a disappointment today. None of the usual classics of the buskers. We missed out on the panpipes and tribal drums band. And
the saxophone rap.
That's true, you know, we really wanted him, but no matter, we'll keep our eyes peeled and watch out for some new talent in the coming future.
Yep. And until then, this is Cherwell Music signing out. Bloody freezing. Alright. How do we turn this off? Wait.
The Key Below Reilly, home of Oxford's student shows that didn't quite make the Playhouse, is currently host to Dull Roots Spring Rain, a contemporary dance show.
Okay, so it's got three parts. The central theme is all about Persephone, a Greek myth. It's the loss of innocence. And the first piece also takes you through what it's like to have something bad happen to you and then get through that. And in the final piece, it's all about discovering yourself.
Well, Emily and I were the two directors, choreographers. This summer we were at the pub. We were doing a summer dance program in London, and we were both complaining about how there wasn't a dance company in Oxford, and we said we should start one.
Is the excitement bubbling?
I can't wait for it. Really can't.
Yeah, no, it's been the tension like building up to it has been palpable. Everyone's not talking about it. I mean, I quite like throwing my shapes on the floor. So. I think people are generally pretty bad at dancing at the moment, so any kind of instruction or like any
Worst case scenario on stage.
Or indeed behind stage.
Yes, or possibly there's a lift that might malfunction. It won't malfunction, but that's probably the worst case scenario. It just goes to a whole.
The worst thing would be something like if our lead girl broke her leg.
Or
forgets what to do.
Me?
Well, from purely producer's point of view, you have to break even. So if we don't sell any tickets, that's like the worst case.
That's bad. So have you bought your tickets yet?
Definitely going to. Yeah. I get paid on Tuesdays, so I don't know when the show is, but that's later. So I'll wait.
How have you found being the only male involved in this production?
Beautiful girls.
The boobs are going to be out backstage.
Lots of leg on show.
Alright, actually, yeah.
The lighting sort of, it does set the mood, and so it is all about lighting.
You feel like capturing the spirit of the show in one move?
That way.
Hang on, give me a second. I don't need to think.
Kind of like a happy bear move.
Do you replicate your favourite move for us?
No.
What's the move?
Nah.
Can you come back to me on that?
Oxford's first major contemporary dance show for several years, Dull Roots Spring Rain has just 5 performances to make the case for dance's inclusion in the Oxford drama scene.
We've travelled far and wide to bring you the untold stories of Oxford's cinema-savannahs, and we've come to the middle of nowhere, 57 Walton Street, to bring you a spectacular landscape of red velvet and 80s carpeting, and, of course, incomparable wildlife. This cinema was established in 1913 and has passed through many stages, but is now named the Phoenix Cinema, or, in local Creole, that indie one down in Jericho. This is the watering hole, known locally as the Piquen Mix. A diverse biosphere, the Piquen Mix is home to a number of species, from the humble cashew nut to the top predator, the wasabi pea. But what's this? A lesser salted popcorn, a young male emerging from its den on a hunt for a mate. The lesser salted popcorn is the most ancient species in this landscape, with paleontological evidence of its ancestors from 4700 BC in Peru, the species having migrated to the British Isles with Sir Walter Raleigh in the 16th century. The cinema-savannah is not always so peaceful a place for the little popcorn, as a giant predatory beast poses a serious threat, not only consuming the less salted popcorn as a light snack, but also simply in crushing them underfoot. Beasts, who come to this watering hole to socialise and to find a mate for themselves. Our precocious young male has survived the onslaught of huge leopard skin feet, and now needs to find a higher vantage point from which to search for the elusive female popcorn. And now our indomitable little popcorn must brave the harsh cinema-savannah winter, negotiating jelly snakes and tangles of strawberry laces. But now he has reached a place of safety, a velvet vantage point from which to scan for his mate. He's seen her! So he makes his way across this vast, arid landscape to find her. A lesser salted popcorn will rarely have more than one partner in its lifetime, so it's a match for life for this young couple.
David J Townsend about his favourite books and what he's reading at the moment. He's brought a selection along, so what is
on your bedside table that you're reading right now?
Well, right now I am reading Doris Kearns Goodwin, No Ordinary Time, about Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt during the Second World War.
Okay.
I read another book that she wrote about Abraham Lincoln and found that very interesting, but I also wanted to know a little bit more about FDR, because I was sort of aware of a lot of the stuff that he'd done, and particularly about Eleanor Roosevelt and her role in the emergence of the United Nations movement and things of that nature. And so I thought, Goodwin is a good writer, and this is a husband and wife team that I want to learn about, so that's what I'm reading now. I'm part way through it. I do work a lot, so I only get through it very slowly, I'm afraid.
Can't help notice, but that the only fiction work on the table seems to be Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I mean, do you read a lot of modern fiction? Do you...
I usually try to read something more serious and then something more lighthearted after that as a kind of a relief and a balance. So more lighthearted would be Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Although this is actually a good history book, because you can see that it was written by a guy, Seth Grahame-Smith, who actually appreciates the real history of Lincoln enough to know where the gaps are, and then to imaginatively fill them in with him being a vampire hunter.
Right.
So part of it's silly, but part of it genuine historical appreciation. And it's been made into a film, which is terrible, so don't see the film, read the book.
What was your childhood book? What was the favourite?
Oh, my favourite book, which I'm really sorry I can't have here today because I just sent it home to Sydney, so it's in the safekeeping of my mum and dad now, is a book that I received 2 copies of for my christening, actually, by 2 different family friends, my godparents and another set of family friends, and that's The Wind in the Willows. It's something that I really appreciated as a kid because it's this great imaginative world. I guess it kind of approaches, it informs some of the images that I had of Oxford before coming here, and some of the more magical bits of Oxford now that I am here.
So, quick fire round. Have you read the Bible?
Yes, I went to schools that were set up by religious groups. First one an Anglican, second one Presbyterian. So, yeah, I've read through most of it.
What about the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Not in the original, in translation, yes. I really loved these things as a kid.
Have you read any Dickens?
Yes, Christmas Carol I really love. That is
Shortest
a great...
one.
Yeah, that too.
Any of the 50 Shades series?
No, I do not know what this stuff is. Like, I am aware that it is something that has this big fan base. The leader of the opposition in Australia was saying that he had read it, and I was like, oh, I don't need to hear about this. So I was not aware that there's a series. Now that there is, I don't know, maybe I'll have to invest some time in reading this. Again, I gather it's something about, you know, amorous relationships of a certain sort. It's kind of passed me by.